Right, hello again folks. It is Tuesday the 4th of April and this is me out for my second cast of the season on the local river. I'm a bit further downstream than I normally fish. A stretch of the river I used to fish a lot, but I kind of neglected it last season for whatever reason. So I thought I'd give it a go down here today. Now, unfortunately it's not the best of days and I'm hoping you can hear me through the wind noise that I no doubt this camera is picking up. It's about 10 degrees. There's a stiffish, gusty, southeasterly wind. So I don't hold out too much hope, to be honest with you. But we'll give it a go and see. As far as setup goes, I've got exactly the same setup as I finished with the last time I was out the river. And that's because the rod's never been disassembled. It's been hanging up on the wall in my spare room. It's really fine and handy. You don't have to bother setting anything up. Just grab the rod and head for the river. You only get away with that when you don't have a wife at home. So anyhow, don't know if you can see it in front of me, we've got a huge area of polytunnels which sprung up here last year, and they don't do much for the area, to be honest with you. But I suppose in the summer they'll be full of strawberries, so I might sneak in and get my lunch there one day when I'm down. Anyway, I'm almost at the river and I will join you when I finally arrive. See you in a minute. Right, so here we are, what I used to call my fail me never spot. Sadly it's failed to live up to its name in recent years. Anyway, no sign of any flies hatching or fish rising, so I think this is a bit of a forlorn hope, to be honest with you. But I'll have a few casts anyway. I'm really feeling the cold. You can see me fly on the water really easily, that's one thing. And what wind there is, which is actually quite gusty, is pretty much upstream at this spot anyway, so that's a positive. Probably be better fishing nymphs, but I couldn't be bothered. It's spring, I want to fish dry flies. Getting an absolutely perfect drift. What the hell is this coming down? Part of a traffic cone. Where the heck did that come from? Well, that'll really get the fish going. Yeah, I don't think that will have done much for my chances. The water level in the river at the moment is just about as near perfect as I could imagine. What the hell is that? Oh, that's that traffic going down the next rapid. I want to know where that came from. The only chance of fish here today, I think, is if we get a wee flurry of a hatch. But I don't know if I'll be sticking around that long. See, that's the advantage of living so close to the river. If the conditions aren't ideal, you just go home. Whereas if you'd driven for an hour and a half to get here, you'd be inclined to stick it out. So to be honest, I'm not sure if that's an advantage or a disadvantage. It certainly encourages me to be very selective and very lazy. That water is absolutely perfect. Beautiful. Everything's right. I'm getting a perfect, the visibility is superb. I can see my fly. I'm getting a beautiful long drift, but no fish. The river's a good bit bigger and has more of a flow down here than it does in that top beat where I normally fish. It's taken in a couple of decent sized tributary burns getting here. The flow is noticeably stronger. It's a kind of a shame actually that it turns into machete country by late spring, early summer. There's an empty Stella tin, a can lying on the bottom here. According to my son, its popular name is Wife Beater, which kind of says it all really, doesn't it? Right, I'll try about, see if I can find a bit of slacker water slightly further up and have a go there, because there's nothing doing here. Oh, when the sun comes out, it's lovely. Just feel the warmth. I think the winter floods have gouged this pool out a wee bit, possibly improved it considerably. Yeah, I'd probably be better putting wet flies or nymphs on, but as I keep saying, I can't be bothered. I'm such a lazy sod these days. It's one of the privileges of growing old. You can justify being a lazy sod. And I can tell you the privileges are few and far between. Yeah, we'll try up a wee bit. See you when I get there. Now, I'm pretty sure I just saw a fish rise in here, but it looked kind of tiny. But it's an encouraging sign. It could be smolts. It's getting near the time of year for the smolt migration. And they're always very free rising. So I'll have a few casts in its direction anyhow. Another fish rose across the other side there. Just a little bit further upstream. I don't see any flies in the water, Just kind of weird. Oh, there we go. A wee trout. The emphasis being on wee. That's off. Good, that saved me hand on it. Oh, there's a little bit of rice to me and I missed it. Not seeing the fly so easily at the moment. Oh, go. Saw that fish coming right up to the bottom to take the fly. Right, come on, being good, so it's a lively wee thing. You're not going to fall off. Do me a favour and fall off. Yeah, 6 or 7 inches. Anyway, that's my first landed local river trout of the season. Good. Right, see if we can get something a wee bit bigger. Yes, so I've decided this season to spread my wings on the river a wee bit more and maybe fish a bit further downstream as the season progresses. One reason for that, I think that top beat's getting a bit of a hammering at the moment. Oh, that was another one. I felt that one, so it won't come back again. Yeah, I think that top beat's getting a bit of a hammering at the moment. And it's not surprising because it's one of the easiest ones to access. But there's a lot more to the river than just that, especially for younger anglers. I mean, us old codgers have got some kind of an excuse. We lack the physical fitness to go into the real arduous areas, but the youngsters don't. They could fish the whole of the river, no problem at all. I was speaking to one of the committee members, the Angling Club committee members, the other day, and he was saying that since I started publishing these videos 2 years ago, fishing permit sales have doubled on the river. Now, I'm not taking the full credit for that, but it is good for the club, because without income there's no club, and without the club there's no fishing. But therein lies the problem, the dilemma, where you don't want the place to get thrashed or overfished. Not that it's anywhere near being overfished at the moment. I feel kind of guilty in one respect that these videos that I'm publishing are evidently added to the fishing pressure. But then again, it's good for the club, and as I say, without the club, without income for the club, there's no club, and without the club there's no fishing. So what do? It's certainly a tricky one. But there's more to this river than just that top beat. Here, for instance, this is very accessible Slightly more rough going as well in the summertime. It's hellish rough going actually. But there are a lot more fish down here than there are up at the top, and they tend to be bigger as well. So I think what I'm saying is, if these videos encourage you to come and fish here, you're very, very welcome to do so. As long as you buy a permit. Yeah, you're very welcome to do so, but try to spread yourself out a bit. There's more to the river than just that top beat. Far, far more. In total, we've got about 6 miles of double bank fishing here, so there's more than enough to go around. The fish seem to have stopped rising again. There's a wee flurry activity there. I did see some flies there briefly. They weren't large dark olives. They were sort of medium-sized olives, or even quite small olives. 16 or 18 I would have put the size at. A fish is taking the mickey here. And another one, dead close, that's less than a rod length away from me. Almost dapping the fly over it here. It's not fooled by that. Yeah, while on the subject of permits for the river, I should maybe point out that this river is covered by what we call in Scotland a protection order. It means it's got special protection, and to fish without holding written permission is a criminal offence. So buy a permit. Actually, permits are not conveniently easy to get a hold of. I think there are 2 outlets. One of them is the country sports shop in Arbroath. I think it's Angus or Arbroath Country Sports. And I think Angus Angling in Forfar, Neil Anderson's place, I think they sell them as well. But the day tickets are peanuts, about £7 a day or something of that order. I mean, it really is peanuts. And it really helps the club to sell a few day tickets. I think the season membership's only about £35 or something like that. So, I mean, it's fantastic value fishing. Of course, us old age pensioners get it for under £20 a year, so it's even better value for us. See, it's another advantage of being old and decrepit. Yeah, there are actually quite a few fish rising kind of sporadically. One just rose, well, half a rod's length in front of me here. Sometimes they're just too close. Right, I'm going to have a look in the big pool. We call it the cottage pool, which is just up here. It's deeper and slow moving. See if we can see any fish rising in it. There's something interesting. I've just found some freshwater mussel shells lying on the bank. Been taken out the river by some predators and eaten. But hey, that's a good sign. That shows that the ecosystem's in a reasonably good shape. Have to be before they get freshwater mussels. I think this whole river system's noted for them. Right up to the Scobie Loch, up near the head of the river. That's where the river actually starts at Lunan Head, which is away past there, near Forfar. And it flows through the Scobie and Bulgais Loch, which is a nature reserve, are stuffed with freshwater mussels. You don't often see them in the river here unless a predator pulls them out. Right, have a look up here. Right, we'll have a few casts in here. Can't see a damn thing here, there's too much glare. That's the worst when you get that grey-white overcast sky. It just reflects back in the river and it's just like looking into a mirror. Right, I've come back down to where I started just to see if there's anything moving in here now. The only place I've seen fish moving is the next pool up. I find it hard to believe that they'd be rising there and not here. So maybe it can sometimes be very localised at this time of the year. Frustratingly so. Very, very localised and very, very short-lived. So you can have two anglers fishing quarter a mile apart, and one of them's got a bag full and the other one has sod all. And that's really, not just on this river, but in any river at this time of the year. It's a strange thing. So far, no sign of anything rising here. So what I'll do is I'll fish here for a bit and then go back up to where I saw all the fish moving earlier. All the fish, it's like it was some kind of biblical plague. It's just one or two fish and I didn't see anything decent. There are some really nice fish in this river, up to 2 or 3 pounds. You don't see them very often. It has to be said that whereas it's primarily a wild trout fishery for smallish wild trout, the club do a supplementary stocking, a very, very small supplementary stocking, a couple of hundred fish, usually for £1 to £2, once a year. And I mean, I'm not a great advocate or enthusiast for stocking at all, to be honest with you. I think it's completely unnecessary when you've got a huge head of fish anyway. But some people like it, and that's fair enough. And a couple of hundred fish over 6 miles of river, sod all anyway. But they're all locally reared fish and they're very good quality. No monsters with no tails get put in here. And since most anglers fish catch and release, and all the fish they catch while they're stocked, most of the couple of hundred stocked fish that were put in here last year will still be here. They'll be lurking in these pools somewhere. And of course, the law only allows us to stock with triploid fish, which are sterile. And they feed all winter, they don't go into a torpor like the wild trout. So it gives the anglers something to catch dead early on in the season as well. As I say, it's not something I'm particularly enthusiastic about, but I'm just one member of many. But it's amazing how the fortunes of angling clubs have dwindled over the years. Back in the 1960s and 70s, I remember the club had to hire function suites in the local hotels to have the AGM. You don't need a function suite now. And it's not just this club, it's all of the clubs. There used to be a 6-year waiting list to get into the Aberdeen and District Angling Association, which has some of the best water in the country on the Don and the Dee. Last thing I heard was there's no waiting list, you can get straight in. Of course that may have changed by then, but now I don't know. So if you fancy going over 6 miles a river, we'd be glad to see you, as long as you buy a permit. For heaven's sake, don't just come and fish here. As I said, it's a criminal offence to fish without a written permission. A nod and a wink's not enough. It has to be written permission. Nothing happening here at all. I thought I saw a sign of fish there just at the corner of my eye. I think it's just been a wavelet on the surface. Right, I'm going to try back up in the pool that I saw the fish rising in earlier. Right, the pool of the risers from earlier. Not that I see anything rising at the moment, but we'll have a few casts in it anyway. Then probably just call it a day. It is so difficult to see this fly when there's so much glare. Now I probably won't be doing as many videos from this river this season. I'm going to try some alternative waters that I have access to. It can get a bit samey doing the same thing over and over. Well, I think I'm just going to call it a day at that, guys, because there really is nothing happening now. It's just that short spurt for about half an hour when there was a bit of activity and a few fish seemed to be keen. But it just died completely. It's feeling much colder now as well, and the wind's picking up. So a few more casts, and then call it a day. Well, we're going to call it a day at that. Thanks for watching, especially if you've stayed with me this long. And hopefully we'll see you in the next video, whenever that may be. Bye for now.